Very, very important. There's different, how I hate to turn it out, just so you know, but there's a networking out there. You got to be aggressive about saying, I want this job, even if you're shy. But at the same time, it's also who you work with putting your portfolio together. One of my favorite stories was, it's in my book, How to Succeed in Advertising, Susan Hoffman. She went to a case school, put her portfolio together, she's an art director, put her portfolio together with an okay writer. She got a job at one place. He got a job at this place called William Kane and Associates, right? And the two creative directors at William Kane and Associates said, "So who'd you work with on this? Who did all this art direction?" And I think they did work together before William Kane. And they said Susan Hoffman. So the two creative directors at William Kane called Susan up and said, "Please come in and interview. We like your work." And the reason they liked their work was because they saw it in this writer's portfolio, which is what we need to do here. The writers get the art directors hired. The art directors get the writers hired. And so she did go in, and she interviewed. Actually, after she turned them down once, and they said, "No, come on." She came in, they interviewed, they offered her the job. She maybe took it, maybe not. They were offering her the work on the small, little, crappy shoe account that's billed next to nothing. Really, really small account. And she took the job. The small shoe account that billed nothing was a startup called Nike. And the two creative directors are Wyden and Kennedy, and they left one day to start this other agency. I guess they took the typewriter with them or whatever. But an April Fool's Day, right, is when they found it. And they brought her with her, and she's worked on Nike ever since. And that built her career, and she wouldn't have had that opportunity if she hadn't worked with this writer. That's how it works. So that's networking too, but it's a different kind of networking than shaking hands and trying. I don't know about going to networking events where everyone else is looking for work, because that's not where the jobs are. You got to go where the jobs are. I've had students, my briefcase here from that. Students see briefcases that say DDB on it or Leo Burnett on it, because that's what they hand out to the employees as premiums. And they literally go up to them and say, "Hey, I'm a student. Could I have an informational interview?" And that's more important, is to do that. And people will gladly grant that kind of stuff. And when they grant it, then you got to just keep coming back until they tell you to get lost. And most people won't tell you to get lost, so they'll pass you on to somebody else, and then you keep coming back to that person, and keep showing your portfolio over and over again until they pass you on to somebody else, and somebody's going to hire you with that passing along, just to get you from coming back. Nobody likes to say no. I was a psych major that worked in the college. I went to a liberal arts school, so I was prepared to do nothing when I got out of there. And I would say it here, if I were to rethink the copywriting program, I would have copywriters take poetry, take fiction writing, take journalism, still take copywriting, take a little bit of art direction, so you know all that kind of stuff. No art history, no mythology, no psychology, no sociology, those kind of courses. All those things will contribute, because basically you're a psychologist trying to figure out human behavior to get people to act or believe in a certain way. And then go from there. As I said, it was different when I was starting out. But I struggled because I did not study advertising. But I studied. I knew a little bit about media with radio. I was doing stuff for newspapers. I was a stringer. So those kinds of things help prepare me. Journalism is a great background. Helps you get to the headline, get you to the nugget of the story. Understanding design. My mom, she was an aspiring graphic designer, but ended up being a bookkeeper and then getting a job in a graphic design studio. So I was around that graphic design studio. So those are the things that I picked up. But you can pick that up in here by taking those kind of courses. But where I went to school, it was either it was math, English, psychology, biology, those kinds of things, philosophy. So those are the things that will train you. Did that answer